as well here. You can see Ronaldo looking for the shot. Seems like Blake might have found the knock there. Oh man, that heavy AR does so much damage, and that wouldn't surprise me now. And yes, they have to commit to this fight now. This is not looking very good for them.
They have to commit to it as well. They don't exactly have a lot of spare shield there. Llama goes down here in the distance. I also noticed they do have the upgrade NPC spawning here, so that's when Lazy Lake gets that kind of ramp up in strength, as well as Blake trying to make his way down into this one. Okus leading the charge with that firepower, and look at the shots they're coming out. So we'll see what happens. Okus takes them down, and I think that is it. I think they have managed to clear this one out, or at least have cleared out the majority of them. And it's a spawn fight we haven't seen too much. Haven't seen Ronaldo, Blake, or Okus really dropping Lazy Lake at all, but they're holding their own right now.
Here's a two-box shot look, but hold up. A Storm Surge fight is going on. It's actually Walkman, Aggro who are pushing up. And Haas gets bit pretty hard here. Claw's a dangerous player, but no, not that good as he gets taken out here. Boogie and Click's moving in as well swiftly here, trying to see if they can take advantage of this chaos too. Here comes the lobby focus shots as well. This is two teams now in shambles.
This is the perfect opportunity for Booger and Click. This is exactly what they needed. A full trio to get into some kind of congestion, something that they can make something off. They need to get some damage through these builds, or just pressure it a little bit to see if they can get something out of this. You talked about it last game, Monster. A team with Storm Surge on their back is the most dangerous team in the lobby, because they have to do something desperate. They've got to build up and take fights like this that normally you wouldn't take. And that's the thing. If you get to this point where your Storm Surge is now active or is close to activating, you've done something wrong. There was something in your game plan that went wrong before this. You need to go back, you got to hit the VODs, you got to research and figure out what you could have done differently to find more damage. And we're going to be talking about it a lot for those of you guys at home that watch that don't fully understand what Storm Surge is. It's very simple. It's just a threshold that players have to get above damage wise to not be the team that's done the least amount of damage in the lobby. If a certain amount of people are alive at a certain zone, that means Storm Surge is going to go active, and anyone who's done the least amount of damage is going to start taking damage. So all you have to know is it pressures these players to constantly make action. They can't just sit in their box. They have to think about where they're rotating to get damage, but also play safe.
And no doubt about it, things are going to start settling down now. 20 seconds into the rotate. It's going to force everyone out of those outskirts areas, out of those holds on the edges, and into the middle here now. Here comes the first RPG shot from Miro's. Not going to find anything. And actually, I lied. It connects with the splash damage there onto Plague. That's a knock. And now they want to take advantage of this. I don't see the pressure coming in full. They're not really quite sure where this guy is, and that's because they lost the line of sight, I believe, over that little mound, over that little hill. That's why it's so important too to just use the natural terrain to your benefit. They are actually below the surge, even with the rocket shot, even with the knock there, even with Miro's 140 damage he put onto Furious with that heavy AR.
Yeah, at the same time, I think it's also like a lack of AR ammo there as well. They just didn't have the assault rifle ammunition they needed to just break through all those hard builds. They're happy with the damage they've done, and like you touched on there, damage is always good when it comes to Storm Surge, especially rotating Storm Surge. You want to find your damage early, as we do have our first place team, Booger and Clicks, as a duo, still holding things down well, on top of Hazard's team and Scoped, who rotated off that same hill. So obviously had similar ideas with their rotates, but this is where the pressure comes out. Booger has to make peaks like this that you don't really want to make, but gets the knock. I was gonna say that's a risky edit to open with the whole lobby looking at you, but when you're a duo and you're only 233 above Storm Surge, the pressure is on to take some risks.
Yeah, he took the risk there. The sniper shot was good. The follow-up was nearly enough, but not enough for him to go ahead and conclude the elim. At least though, that one sniper headshot look puts him perfectly above the surge damage threshold there, pretty much being carried by the one shot that he just hit. Now, the surge is going to become active, and players have to rotate. There's so much pressure coming in now. Half in, half out actually rewards Boogie and Clicks here. It lands right on top of them. This is perfect for a team that is down halfway through their material count and a full member as well. They're not going to be able to really take advantage of this half in, half out, though. They're not going to be able to build up because it'll be too much of a risk for them to expend all that material, but at least they know they get to survive this zone out.
They have to survive the zone, and that's going to be the big question coming into the end game. They've got their position right now. Everyone's just game number 2. Things that maybe didn't work last game could potentially work out here, as we have a very different zone as players. I know, even with this drone shot, I know where half-half is pulled. I know where half-half zone has gone based on this build fight of everyone moving up and trying to take it. And it's, again, a team that I wouldn't expect to see up here. Macwood, Bucky, Kanata, a team that I definitely would have expected to sit on the second height and sit just beneath them. But we have a new team on the high ground trying trying to make a big jump up. And so far, Monster, my prediction, this top 10 after this game is going to look so different than what someone would have expected a few days or maybe a week ago when FNCS was just kicking off. We have a lot of big names not here, but a lot of the names we haven't heard as much about are proving why they're here. They're up there on the leaderboard.
Yeah, and I mean, that's not bad for game one, but remember, we've seen stranger things happen later and later into the rounds as they go on. It only takes 4 solid rounds of Fortnite to actually place yourself inside of the top 3, right? So you have a little bit of buffer. You can drop a game or two. You don't really want to do that. Obviously, you want to play your best game, but for the most part, on average, you need about 4 really good games, really solid games, high-end placements, and elims to go along the way, and you can still do it. So it's a bit early to tell how things are going to unfold. I mean, Clicks and Booga showing just that. They have the best kind of game one you can ask for. High eliminations, setting records alongside others for multiple high elim games in the same lobby at these stages. But also now game 2 is a completely different script, right? You lose Bizzle early on. You lose him so early on, and now Clicks and Booga have the biggest task in front of them. It's staying alive in this lobby of what looks like savages everywhere, right? Everyone's getting so active.
Yeah, they're down pretty low on the builds as well. So they were low down on the Storm Surge. They're low on the builds. They've got good meds. So if they get maybe a good refresh, you've got a lot of firepower in this duo, and they're going to use these sand rotates, playing it smart, trying to go around the edges. They were 205 below the Storm Surge. So they need to get in and then start doing some damage. So things are not looking good for our first place team, but they have what they need as far as firepower to make it work. Such a smart rotate there with the sand to get front side. Now that they're there, now they don't have to focus on rotating. Now's when they look to pick up their impact elimination. What's going to refresh their mats and what's going to get them the Storm Surge? How are they going to find it?
And listen, I see on high ground is Macwood, Kanata, and Bucky. They had a decent game 1, but they fell in 11th place with 2 eliminations. They needed just a little bit more for a top 10, and now that they have the high ground, wait a second, they had the high ground. They're now fighting against Blake and Ronaldo. We're literally looking to give them some trouble for the runs here, but no, Kanata holds it down. Defense is good enough. He walks into the zone for this one, doesn't miss the shot, needs it. And actually, the Siphon isn't going to go ahead and keep him alive for much longer. Ooh. Yes, he stays alive, just barely 5 HP. But hey, 5 HP is more than enough now to get splashed up and back with his squad mates here. And they're back to run this game.
They're back up. They're looking healthy. This is my pick. This is why I picked them. They run the high ground once they take it. Only 3 eliminations on the board. Zone going back, so they get to push back up onto this established height, which they kind of needed because Kanata only has 4 builds, and he's having fun with it. He's got a skin that isn't very well known for being a competitive skin. Usually isn't the go-to. Guff's a little bit on the thicker side, but he's looking good on the high ground. Potentially has the wings to try and save himself if something goes wrong here. But either way, as a team, they're looking fantastic, but I don't know how the builds look on Macwood and Bucky. They maybe expended a little bit too much to get this position. Can they now hold it?
And we will find out. In the complete opposite story, a team that we know for a fact doesn't have much to work with is Booga and Click. Booga's going to make the wrong edit. Dragon's Breath is going to delete him, eat him up for breakfast there, and he is gone. Clicks now has to dig into the floppers that he very barely has here. It's going to give him a couple more moments, and no, the fire's even worse. He can't walk that way. That'll be too much HP, too much damage. Yeah, look. Oh, the zone does come back. Little RNG blessed on his side. It's going to work out. He is out of material, though. What can Clicks do here? 11th place now. Top 10. Huge. Every team that falls is going to get him one step closer to earning more placement points. One step closer to holding that first place spot that they already have. Remember, Macwood on high ground, they were in 11th coming into this. So also, this is a team that is very much looking to break into top 5 as well. Jockey up for those high placing positions.
Yeah, and Clicks has got to have eyes on that top 3 where the placement points really come out. He needs a bit of a refresh to make it happen. Found a nice little base here. The zones have been pretty favorable to Clicks right now, but they needed something to go their way in this one. Ronaldo falls down. I saw Kanata getting some eliminations on high ground. Clicks is hiding behind the wood cone. Zone's going to push him forward. He has to go into their top. Oh no, he's going to go at the top. It's going to be difficult. Has the cone to jump off. Right now, pretty much Clicks is almost doing this like a death run. 139, he gets in and he gets the elimination that he needed. Refreshes the mats. He's got 29 builds. He's just survived an entire rotating zone on 0. What can he do now that he has the 19 builds? Clicks is showing that he is still one of the best in the world and has the best ability to clutch. Macwood and Bucky are up there, but Bully's going up and contesting. I don't see Kanata. I see Furious Calc and Sebi down below, but Clicks is doing so much here.
Yeah, Kanata's already down. He fell to Cold. Cold, who Clicks just took out, who is also a solo there as well. Now, with one elimination, no teammates, he is playing the storm line so perfectly here. Out of materials again, the siphon mats, not enough. And look at the movement.
No.
He's so good. Seppi's down. He will be able to get it. Young Calc is down as well. The double siphon, and there it is. That's 4 eliminations now. Floppers in hand. What are you doing, Clicks? Holding that first place spot. Oh my gosh, RPG.
Are you serious? He has the rockets. He's going up now. He's dropping down.
Wow.
What can he do to work his way? Top down only has 20 health. He's 2 ticks to the storm. He's already done enough. He got top 3. He has 4 eliminations, but can he do more? No, he can't. But honestly, that was more than enough as Macwood tries to close this one out. It is a 1v2. He's on the high ground. I don't know if he has the heals. Aviv doesn't have the heals. Macwood, Kanata, and Bucky managed to win it, but they managed to steal the show. Click steals everything from them.